Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Grand Arena Zone. I'm joined by Kyn, as always, and we're going to be looking at some of his footage from week one of this season and talk about our thoughts on the season. So, Kyn, thanks for coming in.
As always, it's a pleasure to be here on this very, well, thoughts on the season, sort of a boring season so far.
Yeah.
So starting out, this fight is not particularly boring in my mind. Well, in some ways it is. You just hope that you don't get stunned or dazed, rather.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
would
yeah,
not.
season-wise, it's just a lot of offense. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
everything beats everything, sort of.
Yeah, it's not just me, people.
Yeah. Yeah. This particular counter, though, it's I don't think it could be better almost. The defensive or the tenacity mods on both of my characters are quite good. Not like they could be better, but they're still great secondaries and primaries and everything. And this General Skywalker doesn't have any potency mod, and he still stuns. It's like a 7% chance, I think. I still got
Jeez.
stunned.
So you lost? Oh, dang. You know what?
No,
Oh, no, you didn't
still.
lose. I want
Yeah.
people to lose that. I don't want that to work.
Well, you're definitely many people lose. The stats on GG are like, even if you sort by Kyber 1, like where you assume everybody has the correct mods and everything,
Mm-hmm.
the stats are like 25% success or
Oh,
something.
good. I
So it
hate
is
that.
definitely it's not as easy as, who was it? Fatal, I think, that made the initial video.
Well, yeah, whenever he comes up with a counter, I'm pretty sure it'll be a really low percentage because it's like only his
Yeah,
great
for sure.
mods can pull it off.
And a lot of the stuff that he does too, not all, but like the initial concept videos like that are usually in Arena.
Yeah.
And it's a little more controlled in that scenario. Not that he asks opponents to put on bad mods or anything like that, but it's definitely not like fighting against the same quality of players that are usually in
Yeah, and I feel like he's
GDC and
only
Carbon.
interested in something if it's really difficult as well.
Yeah, edge cases.
Yeah.
We'll talk about edge cases. This is a great example. Just counter should not be done. I think the average stats are something like
Yeah, it's
less
not
than
great.
30% or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the only thing that made it, or why I considered it, is because this saw doesn't have the Omicron,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and the relic levels of the DPS characters are pretty low, like 5 or something like that. I think
Yeah.
Baze is 7, but I think Kyle Katarn is relic 5 or something. And
Like mine.
uh, yeah, nothing wrong with it really, but it definitely at the beginning when Wampa is stunned, that's the only real time that there's danger. That's usually when the battles end, like in the first 30 seconds or something.
Yeah.
So if you have a lot of defense on your datacron and your Wampa's modded pretty well and decent relics and stuff, then you stand a chance. But
Yeah. Yeah, without defense, that reminds me. What if the next set is another crap stat set like this one? Like that would be.
I would actually love a crap stat set, but I would love it to have more interesting level 6s and level 9s.
Yeah.
Like, I think the problem with I mean, I'm not going to go back. I said that I really thought that the set 12 is great for free to play or like low datacron interest players. And it is. You need just a few datacrons and you're sort of done, at least with set 11 being there at the same time. But I think the main problem with it, in terms of it not being that interesting, is that you effectively only have one faction with any decisions to make.
Yeah.
And it's just at level 6. You want ability block or no revive or blind, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I just have a ton of level sixes. I didn't even take it to eight. Normally, like eight is like an automatic thing, but it's like I just saved a bunch of Mark II and Mark III mats on it for when set 11 dusts, and I have tons of data cache because I like didn't farm extra data cache Just whatever I got from getting a red crate, that's what I'll use. Upgrade set
Interesting.
12. And hope set 13 is good. Because I do like when there's good stats. Like that set 12, I hate 12. It's so boring.
It's very boring. I don't hate it, but it's boring.
Yeah.
And yeah, this fight finished with I think like 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Low relic, no saw Omicron. It's really not a fight to take if the team is decent.
Yeah.
But it worked out for me at least there.
Risky business.
Yeah, here is another one that is this was I didn't think it would be risky.
Oh, you don't
because
even
Seer. No, the only thing here is I hadn't fought one before with both, or there's not any data on ones with 2 tanks, both GK and L3.
Yeah.
Because you lose or you gain, I guess, with GK, you get crit immunity that comes later in the fight, which normally you don't have.
GK might make an issue.
So I had, in this particular round, I had my Maul on offense as well, so I was like, why not? You're very right that I don't need to know the fight is not great banners, but pretty easy.
Yeah, GK, that's definitely considerably more difficult, I believe.
Yeah, it's interesting looking at the stats. I just spent a little bit of time looking at the stats from week 1 on GG.
Oh, you could have killed him there with the saber throw.
Yeah, very likely I could have. I probably should have too.
Sorry,
being very cautious.
Oh well, you still got him.
Yeah, I knew Maul was coming up, and he had his 5th hit that would take him from above below, and I was going to save the saber for Ben or something.
Very well.
I was just saying this. The stats for week 1.
Mm-hmm.
That is so beautiful.
I know it is.
I love this team. Ray is like the only GL that holds or has a chance of holding.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I still need to look at his stats, but that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I mean, I still set Lord Vader on defense just because I felt weird not having more than 1 GL at least. Yeah, my first 2 rounds, I set basically personal records for my score because it was just like, I know these GLs aren't holding, I'm going to keep them, and then,
Yeah, it's very hard to get a defense that holds. I think Lord Vader is the 2nd best, and only because I think you can do some stuff in the front wall, like, I don't know, just the classic Lord Vader team. Definitely not, there's no GL that 100%s him, besides Leia, of course. But you can still do some interesting stuff in the front wall to try and pull away JML, perhaps. You know, like SLKR to pull away JML or some weird thing. Because JMK is not a sure thing against him either.
So when you pull away JML, what is it you're wanting to surprise them in the back with, because they don't have JML?
We'll try and get some chance of them losing with JMK or pretty crap banner with Afra or something like that. Yeah, that's what I would. Basically, I'm hoping for 4 banners.
Yeah, okay.
Talking about banners, this is a terrible banner fight, but very interesting because you hardly ever see people put Mark 6 in the starting.
Yeah.
I would say sort of the better choice, all things considered, is actually to go with Radis or Profundity, I mean. You can, if they have Mark 6 or Dagger starting, Profundity has a pretty high chance of winning. And just with the 3 ships, you don't need even a reinforcement. But I really wanted to try Chimera and just see what it was like against Mark 6 starting, because I had tried it once before, like I want to say three seasons ago or something, and it failed. But I think that I had a better strategy this time, and in the end, I do win.
Should have healed Scythe.
Yeah, I should have for sure. And you'll see here I lose sight. I think I lose 2 ships. The banners in this fight are horrible. I definitely could have played the end a lot better.
Yeah, it's painful when it gets to this stage because it's just like any other ship would get blown away so much faster. I hate this ship.
Yeah, man, it's crazy how many people kept Leviathan for offense in this season. It's very, very surprising.
It was nice. I mean, I was happy. Like whenever I don't face Leviathan, because it's like the only one where I'm like not sure if my counter is gonna work, even my best counter. Because Chimera, there's certain loss conditions where it's extremely hard to bounce back from, and then and it's not even like your fault that goes wrong in some cases.
Yeah, just RNG cannot go your way, and
yeah, the big thing is if the bomber resists the turn meter removal at the beginning, then you don't get as much stacks of formation, and then you probably won't kill Sith Fighter or tie Dorito in time. Then, especially if it's Sith Fighter, I hate that starting lineup the most because then they just get a TM train, and then everyone goes, and then they destroy Scythe, and I never get my second reinforcement gets destroyed. It's a pain.
Yeah. I think this is the only ship fight in GAC I've ever put on auto.
Yeah, because it's like
I'm pretty sure that
there's no decisions.
Just basics. Yeah. So this is another Ray team. I forgot exactly what lineup this was. I don't think it was a Commander Sokatana one. But for what reason? Why didn't I use? I don't know why I didn't use Seer Melico.
Yeah, we lost Kyn here.
Quite like still using Java, even without the beefiness, I guess, of set 11.
You cut out for a second. It might have been my internet, but I didn't hear.
No worries. I was just saying I really like Java versus Ray, even without having set 11 on Java, just because how fast everything goes.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's not this fight. There's another Ray Java versus Ray fight I played that actually I timed out on Ray at the very end. Because of how much turn meter the Java team was getting with all the thermal detonators.
Oh yeah. I could see that being a huge.
Which was but I completely didn't think of that when I was like turning on auto at the end. Eventually, I switched to auto basic, and I almost finished it. But because I was generating so many more thermal detonators there, but it's crazy. Even like Ray doesn't have.
Yeah, this comp is interesting because they have CLS. That seems kind of an odd decision. I know, like, if they use Toxic Leia, they want to do something with them, but very odd.
Yeah, I agree. The choice of CLS is a strange one in there, but it made it easy, I guess, for Java to kill.
Yeah.
But it's pretty funny. I think Java is going to get to his second ult before Ray takes her turn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The turn meter is
almost there.
Oh, just missed it. But it's still it's slow once they get into their damage immunities. I don't think she's in her damage. Yeah, there she goes just now.
There it is. Get that dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Java, like everyone says it's so easy on Leia, and it is, but it's pretty certain, but I would not want to just hit auto when I do it.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah, there's some stuff to manage there. And like when they use Mon Mothma, I was terrified of Mon Mothma because I usually start by killing Drogon. And the one time she did actually bring him back, but I was able to control him enough to where he didn't kill me. Because in Squad Arena, he'll like kill Boosh a lot if I leave him alive. And then that's like, no bueno.
Yeah, I only faced one Leia on defense the whole match, and I did use Java, and it was pretty easy. But stats-wise, again, I mentioned where I was just looking at the stats for week 1. Even the best Java teams, all the datacron is not 100. It's like 97. It's pretty high.
Yeah.
But overall, Java is like, I think 85 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because there's still some people using set 11. You can still kill her with set 11, but pretty iffy.
Yeah. Well, it does make things even easier for this round.
Yeah, I'm very curious what happens with Leia in the next season. Like, will there be a galactic? I sort of think there's going to be a Galactic Republic faction.
That would be
So
nice.
it could do something for R2 to maybe give Leia still some oomph or something. But
Yeah. Yeah,
I
like
wouldn't be
they haven't
surprised if like
have they come back to Galactic Republic since set 1? It was like in the very first set and it hasn't been there.
no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Would they have the irresistible stun? That was the big thing there.
Yeah, when you use a
That was
special.
crazy. Yeah.
Especially because they gave one to JMK. It was just that was such a toxic team. Here's another sort of interesting fight. Nothing particularly special, but I did this, I think, in all 3 of my matches. For some reason, the people I were playing were still placing Finn. Finn is not a bad team, don't get me wrong. But I really don't think I think there's so much stuff that beats him. And I guess it depends on if people have Night Sisters or not. But the other 2 fights, I literally hit auto with Night Sisters, and I won with 65 banners.
That's good, maybe. Because I'm basically using Afra on Zori sometimes still, because I don't have anything else good, and I am scared of it to some degree. Like I've been scarred in the past, so if Night Sisters can do it.
Well, Night Sisters can do it. I do think I don't think any of the teams I faced had the very fearful Rose with her Omicron. That gives them more turn meter. I think they can outrun Night Sisters then. Or potentially, like, there's a risk. But when there is no Omicron Rose in there, it's just it's a free, easy win.
Massacre.
Which is, yeah, sort of hard to get the free, easy wins in this season.
Yeah.
So here is a rare SLKR on defense.
Yeah, I saw one
my
too.
opponent was actually sort of clever. I think he was trying to get me to use JML because he had Lord Vader at the back.
Ah, okay.
However,
still used Ayla.
Yeah, I was just looking for alt charge for JMK here, basically, and I didn't have my Commander Ahsoka Tano because I put her with Rey.
Ah, okay.
So, I mean, this was interesting because there's very little data on GG on it, but as you'll see, like, the fight is a bit of a joke. I think GK loses protection at some point, but it's not that close. What did you use versus SLKR?
Riva.
Riva, okay,
It was a stomp. He
Yeah,
had the stacking defense, and that made him a little bit tougher in the end. But their team died so fast, and then at the end you just keep stacking armor shred on him, and I think blind, and then you have foresight, and he barely even hit me.
Yeah, exactly. He's really not a great team on defense, unfortunately, these days.
So, I know someone I guess some noob or newer account commented on a video where I said Supreme Leader Kylo Ren isn't good on defense. There's you're out of touch just because it doesn't hold in the end game doesn't mean he's not good on defense. And Carbonite stops people. I'm like, okay, yeah. I didn't even
if your opponent
address
doesn't have
the
any
idea.
GLs.
Yeah, it's okay, obviously, but it's funny what people say.
It is such a big difference, especially at the lower GP levels. it really is not so much about about certain characters. It's just if your opponent doesn't have, if he has like 5 teams or something, you know.
Yeah.
I'm very curious how you find it when you start doing GAC with that
I'm
baby
sure it'll
account.
be challenging, but I'll still like enjoy it because I don't like being like a whiner of like cursing my fate like people seem to do. It's just like if there's a challenge, I'll get what I can. Like I unlocked galactic challenges at level 50 and I got like I don't know, a third or fourth box because they make it really easy for the beginning boxes and it's like I don't know, it's nice. Like yeah, I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
able to get very far in it, but it's just nice. And like I'm using one dot mods because I just unlocked them and they're cheap to get to level
Okay.
15 and the set bonus is exactly the same. It only costs
Oh,
13,000
I didn't realize
credits.
that. Okay.
Yeah, it's like everyone always like don't use anything but 5. Don't use anything but 5, but I'm going to put one dot health mods on everyone because it's super cheap. Like
That's a
13,000
big stat
credits.
boost.
Yeah, like it's a game changer. I mean, I'm making a video on it that I'm going to put up, but yeah, like a
Cool.
5 dot to 180 to level 15 is like 100. I don't know, is it like 250,000 credits? It's crazy. And then
It's
even
quite a
3
lot,
dots
yeah.
expensive. But 1 dot, that's nice right when you get to level 50 for like Galactic War and stuff.
Hmm. I do remember this is I talked at the beginning about how this is sort of a boring season. Normally
Hmm.
I would not put such a stomp in these videos, but I didn't have many other things to choose. And this at least was interesting because it had GAR and ISC in it.
Yeah, I faced one like that
But
too.
in the end, it really doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Um, I do remember Galactic War. For the longest time, I would regularly not get uh, the last set
The last
zone. What do they call it?
but
Zone or something?
node.
12 boxers. Node, yeah.
Yeah, the other day I had my first failure to complete it because I faced like a full nihilist Sith team that was like level 70 with gear 7 and I'm like level 49 gear 6. It was painful. I tried
Yeah,
so
they
hard,
put
but
some
it was so
crazy,
impossible.
have some crazy teams in there.
I know.
Yeah, but then I think eventually, 'cause there was a period where many people would not be able to, like, it just was mechanically extremely unlikely that they would ever be able to beat the last set
Hmm.
because of the power level of the teams. Like, there was 1 or 2 characters that came in. I forget what part of the meta it was at. But then they changed how galactic power was calculated. Do you remember when that happened?
I wasn't playing when that happened, but I saw videos alluding to it. And I was like, it was it was wild that that happened because what was GP a lot higher than back then? And then they
No, it wasn't
lowered it
higher.
or it was
It
lower?
was lower. It was lower, but it used different metrics than is used currently. Like there's another,
Oh.
I think it's still in the game. Maybe they've completely phased it out. But characters, there's another score I think that's related to their uh
They what I
and
read
still
from
I don't remember
everywhere
what it's
is that
related
they're
to.
calculating Galactic War difficulty by your like top 5 characters or the strongest squad arena team you've used. Which like I that's the most frequent thing I see, but then I saw like Dark Lockwater says GP, and then someone's like swearing in my comments that like when they increased GP but didn't increase their one team that nothing changed. So I'm like, I guess I'll go with that. The most recent one after I like activated all my characters I'm not using and inflated GP a little bit, it was easier. So part of it's just
Hmm.
random. I don't fully understand it. I need someone that like is a coder to look at it and tell me.
Yeah, I know it has to do with they do a calculation of your top characters for sure, but it's not based upon the GP that you see now in the game of your characters. It's based on
Oh.
some other metric, like of some combination of their level, 85,
Hmm.
87, 82, whatever. Their level, I think the skills they have and the count of zetas or something. Like in some ways it was the similar to the same way, not exactly, but the methodology that they used when they did GAC, matchmaking at the
Hmm.
beginning. So yeah,
Interesting.
it's not just GP. It takes some other variables. Anyway, that's the last of the fights I had.
Yeah.
That's very shorter than usual GAC zone.
Yeah, I don't think anyone will
But
complain. It's no
yeah,
meta minute that's supposed to be 10 minutes and then it's 45 minutes.
yeah, the mini meta minutes. Um, yeah, it should be interesting. I'm curious for the rest of the season. Just talking one little last thing. Look again, you'll probably see it when you look through the stats. One of the teams that surprised me most on defense was Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. He gets beaten
Yeah.
by plenty of stuff, but way less. Like even Radis is 80, 85.
I took Radis against him and it's like I won, but I think I lost some banners. So even just from that, I was like, I need to put this team on defense now. Um,
Yeah,
which
I
you
had
know
totally taken him off defense.
yeah,
I
I
was
used
not
him on
expecting
offense
anything
against
great out of
like
him.
Ewoks, but the first two rounds when I got my super high scores, I didn't even use him, so it felt like kind of a waste.
Yeah, yeah, I think I'll definitely be putting on defense and see what happens.
Were you taking like how many GLs did you set this season, and were you like going for higher scores or still some defense or?
I set, I think, 3 GLs on defense most of the time. Yeah, 2 or 3 GLs. But I also placed Starkiller, Treya, Riva, CLS, like all of the other, or many of the other non-GL teams that sort of take a GL team.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
and scores, I was just going, honestly, what I wanted in each match was not to drop a single fight. That was my goal.
Yeah.
There was one match where I dropped a fight and I did lose that, but the other ones were not close. My opponents dropped one, or they'd get I think they all dropped at least one match, one battle.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it reminded me of back in the old system when you were just trying to go for really high banners to like score high in your division because that was the thing. Like if people didn't play then, you just literally like you were punished for going heavy defense because you would not get a higher rank. It was like your
Yeah.
total attack banners carried over the whole season. So I was like even undersizing stuff the one match, like mostly just GLs, but like undersizing, trying to maximize score, and I got a 2061 or 2062 or something like, or no,
It's really
1860,
good.
1861, 1862.
Yeah,
It was the
that's really
highest
high.
I've got.
Yeah, I'm curious. It's not, in my opinion, it's only going to get higher now that you have GG history to look at. Like, there's no questions
Yeah,
about is this one going to be, how many banners this or that. So, yeah, should be interesting. I'm very curious what the next datacron set is too. That
yeah,
should be a good
yeah.
indication of how things are going to go.
That'll determine a lot. Some people are hoping it's bad stats again, but I personally like when there's a defense percentage one. And I hope they don't nerf stats too much, like they nerfed armor pen, like bring in a good stat but make the numbers terrible. Like armor pen percentage was nerfed into oblivion. I like don't care about it
Yeah.
anymore. You
Well,
you
what about
need every
dodge?
roll to get. I would hate dodge. Like I don't want dodge. Dodge is the worst. Like yeah, that's something that's as close to a unanimous hatred that the
Yeah.
player base has as possible. Like dodge is awful.
Do they have accuracy on set 12? Yeah,
Yeah, they
physical
throw
and special accuracy, right?
Yeah, like they throw on
Mhm.
those just so they can have like the garbage stats that people have to re-roll. Like it's just
Pretty
re-roll
much.
bait. Like they know that's useless. And like that was I don't know when they put in set 7 or set 8, everyone's like, "Oh, the next one's dodge because they did this." And then they'd
Yeah,
keep
I thought the
predicting that it
same.
never happened.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's just like a dumb stat to get people to use materials to reroll. We'll
Yeah,
see.
but we'll see. All right, well, thanks, Ken. We're gonna
As
log
always,
off
my
now.
pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to check out Kin's channel as well. And we'll see you guys later.